In a small town nestled between rolling hills and sprawling fields, there lived a woman named Clara. From a young age, Clara was taught the importance of following the rules laid out by society. She was raised in a home where expectations were as rigid as the iron gates that surrounded their property. Her parents, both staunch believers in tradition, had mapped out a life for her that included attending a prestigious university, securing a stable job, marrying a man of good standing, and eventually settling down to raise a family of her own. The narrative they wove was comforting in its predictability, but Clara often found herself feeling suffocated by the weight of their dreams for her. As she grew older, Clara began to notice the whispers of her own desires, buried beneath layers of obligation. She had always loved art, painting vibrant landscapes and capturing the essence of fleeting moments on canvas. Yet, the idea of pursuing a career in art was met with disapproval. "It's not practical," her father would say, shaking his head. "You need to think about your future." So, with a heavy heart, she enrolled in a business program, convinced that this was the path she was meant to take. Clara excelled academically, earning accolades and praise from her professors. But none of it filled the void that grew within her. Each day felt like a performance, her true self hidden behind a mask of compliance. She would sit in lecture halls, her mind drifting to the colors she longed to mix, the brushstrokes she ached to create. The more she conformed, the more she felt like a stranger in her own life. One crisp autumn afternoon, while wandering through a local art gallery, Clara stumbled upon a painting that took her breath away. It was a wild explosion of colors, a chaotic dance of brushstrokes that seemed to defy all conventions. The artist had captured the essence of freedom, each stroke a rebellion against the mundane. Clara felt an electric pulse of recognition. Here was a life lived unapologetically, a life that resonated with the very core of her being. In that moment, something shifted within her. She realized that the expectations imposed upon her were not her own. They were a tapestry woven from the fears and aspirations of others. The thought was both liberating and terrifying. What if she chose to step outside the bounds of societal norms? What if she decided to embrace her passion for art, regardless of the consequences? The idea filled her with a sense of exhilaration she had not felt in years. That night, Clara lay awake in bed, her heart racing with possibilities. She imagined a life where she could wake up each day and paint without the weight of expectation pressing down on her. She envisioned herself in a sunlit studio, surrounded by canvases and paintbrushes, creating without fear of judgment. The more she imagined, the more she felt the chains of conformity begin to loosen. The following morning, Clara made a decision that would alter the course of her life. She withdrew from her business program, much to her parents' dismay. Their reactions were predictable, a mixture of disappointment and anger. "What will you do? How will you support yourself?" they demanded, their voices a cacophony of concern and frustration. But Clara stood firm, her resolve hardening like steel. She would no longer be a pawn in someone else's game. With each passing day, Clara embraced her newfound freedom. She enrolled in an art school, surrounded by like-minded individuals who shared her passion. The atmosphere was electric, filled with creativity and inspiration. She spent hours experimenting with different techniques, losing herself in the rhythm of creation. Each brushstroke felt like a declaration of independence, a testament to her choice to live authentically. As she immersed herself in the world of art, Clara discovered not only her talent, but also her voice. She began to explore themes that resonated deeply with her: identity, belonging, and the struggle for self-acceptance. Her work evolved, reflecting her journey of letting go of societal expectations and embracing her truth. The colors on her canvas became bolder, the themes more profound as she poured her heart into her creations. Yet the journey was not without its challenges. Clara faced skepticism from those who had once held her in high regard. Friends and family questioned her choices, urging her to reconsider the path she had chosen. "You're throwing your future away," they would say, their concern laced with disbelief. But Clara learned to trust her instincts, to believe in her vision. She surrounded herself with a supportive community of artists who uplifted and encouraged her, reminding her that the path to authenticity was often fraught with obstacles. As the months turned into years, Clara's art began to gain recognition. She held exhibitions that drew crowds, her work resonating with those who had also felt the pressure of societal expectations. People connected with her stories, finding solace in the raw emotion she poured onto the canvas. Clara realized that by embracing her truth, she had not only liberated herself, but had also inspired others to do the same. The day came when Clara received an invitation to showcase her work at a prestigious gallery in the city. It was a moment she had once dreamed of, but now it felt different. Instead of excitement, a sense of peace washed over her. She had come to understand that success was not defined by accolades or recognition, but by the authenticity of her journey. Standing in front of her paintings, surrounded by admirers, Clara felt a profound sense of gratitude. She had let go of the weight of expectation and, in doing so, had found herself. As she gazed at the vibrant colors on the canvas, she realized that true freedom lay not in the absence of expectations, but in the courage to define them for oneself. Clara had learned to paint her own narrative, one brushstroke at a time, and it was a masterpiece of her own making. In the end, she discovered that living freely was not about escaping the world, but about embracing it fully with all its complexities and contradictions.